So here we go. This is the Husqvarna. $592 XP auto tune. Now this is a 92.6 cc engine. On the 392, the tensioner screw would have been right here. An impossibly hard place to get to, especially when quick last-minute adjustments are needed. Now, I did have a steel chainsaw, and that chainsaw was only a 50 cc. It was the MS-271, and I completely smoked it out. Here I have just a little piece of wood here. This is looks like maple. Yeah. So here's this log, not a giant piece, but you know, it's enough to get a little pre-cut. Now, Husqvarna does recommend that you do not run that chainsaw at max RPMs for the first 6 to 10 refill of the tank. I guess there's a break-in period that you would have to go through. So let's get to the assembly. So here we go. As you can see right here, the air filter is very easy to get to. Right here is a primer. Not much of a primer, but this is actually an air purge. It's to remove all of the air out of the lines. Let's see. There we go. Let's take that off. So this is, right here's the air filter. It has an easy removable filter. That's it right there. And there is a lot of electronics going on in here, especially with that auto tune. You'll see this little clip here. Now this is actually for servicing. That's hooked up to a computer, and I guess you run diagnostics and other such things, or even keep a record of the services that were performed on this chainsaw. Okay, here we go. Just a few other, lookovers. It is pretty heavy. I will say, when I first got the saw, I was puzzled by this. So, I don't know if you see that in there. It just looks like one single bolt with like a square nut there. And it seems like there would be a resistor limiter there, right in that little... Similar to this here. I actually messaged the manufacturer and I inquired about it, and they actually told me that it was a spacer only. So this is just a spacer, and there's no need to worry about that. There's nothing missing here at all. I was concerned. As you can see here, that's actually on a cable. And that's the trigger here. Here we go, pre-assembly. This is rather hard to do with one hand. Here's the back side of it. As you can see, there's actually a retentioner in there. See that? It doesn't fall out. They stay in place. You won't lose those, and that is a metal construction. That is a plate of metal here, and you can see the chain tensioner right there, and right here's the screw. So it comes with these little spacers, so let's just remove those. Okay, so with a little fumbling around, I managed to get this bar on here, and this one here that I purchased came with a 32-inch bar. So, you know, not too shabby. Definitely big enough for what I need it for. Down in here is where you adjust the oil. You can adjust how much oil comes out, tighten, loosen it. Now you don't have to adjust the carburetor. This thing automatically adjusts. Alright, before I fire this up though, I am going to fill this over here. Oh man, that's even heavier now. Okay, here we go. Bar oil, I'm going to fill this up and kind of just pull the chain around that bar first, just to get the oil flowing. This is fresh, nothing ever was in there. Completely bone dry. Here as well, I know Husqvarna recommends their 95 octane. First time running this, for the break-in period, I would use what is recommended. And then later on, after that break-in period is over, I'll start mixing my own fuel. But I think I'm going to stick with this until that break-in period is done for. You don't want to go wrong and screw it up. As you can see, I do many different projects, from marble sculpture to woodworking, but let's get back to here. Here we go, sticking with manufacturer recommendation, just for the first time, and then after that, you know, after that break-in period's done, I'll probably choose what is most suitable, but okay. Now let's just get this chain moving a little bit. We want that oil, or chain brake is on, so let's disengage. Let's get some of that oil moving. Show you right here. So this is the underside of the saw. And this is where you adjust the bar oil flow. Tighten it up, less oil. Open it up, and there's going to be more. So start up here, I have earplugs in, because I know it's supposed to be loud. So chain brake, decompression valve, let's push that in, out and up is the start position. Okay. last chainsaw, a 50cc, would have really struggled just to do that right there. That's nice. This is almost ready to put right through the planer. I can turn this right on the lathe, just as is. Wow, that was fast. Here's the other side here. Now this is a hard maple. I feel bad wasting this, but, you know, it's worth it.